I was born some 50 years ago and enrolled at Anmabu Anglican Primary School through to Form 4 and further on to the senior school where I wrote my O and A levels at Advancement School. Then further on to the University of Ghana, where I graduated in crop science in 1994. I did my national service at Bakati Senior Technical School at Cape Coast, and then got employed as a teacher with the GES. The chairman, since then, I've been teaching and been doing MPP politics. Thank you.
Chairman, Ghanaian politics or MPP politics?
Mr. Chairman, for as long as you do MPP politics, by extension, you are doing Ghanaian politics.
Chairman, I, Kwamena Duncan. Are you my Kwamena Duncan?
Yes, Honorable Minority Leader, yes, yeah, Kwamena Duncan.
If you look at page 3 of the CV, on the top, you have Secretary, University of Ghana SRC Women's Commission. This is strange.
Well, Mr. Chairman, at the time we're trying to help assist the Women's Commission to be set up. And as the president of the Junior Common Room of Commonwealth Hall, I'm very dedicated to a women's cause. I was settled on to be part of the committee that worked on that. And if the honorable member still remains in shock, there's a certificate here to show to him that indeed Secretary to the Women's Commission. Thank you.
Let me welcome I, Kwamena Duncan, my ACR president. Just for elegance, education background is done very well, but if you travel through page 2, my wish would have been that the academic qualifications were just brought as a third layer in order for elegance of your CV. Do you have an objection? So that we know that 19 Anumabu, the qualification follows, O-level, it follows, university, it follows, even though you have chosen to put it on the second page. For elegance, one would have preferred that it followed as a column. Do you have an objection?
Actually, you didn't follow the template we gave you. It was supposed to be date, educational institution, and certificate or degree awarded. So when we are going through, we'll let you resubmit in accordance with the template we gave you. The information here is adequate, but it has to be represented in the format we gave you.
Chairman.
Playing droughts and watching comedies. Meanwhile, you did crop science and you were a patron for wildlife club and the school. And you didn't choose to make, watching birds, wildlife as your hobby. Why?
Mr. Chairman, you need to be versatile. It's not only your background where your interests must be focused, but again, if there are other things that you can do, and in my spare time, play a lot of drafts, and also when I'm relaxed in my hall, I like to watch comedies. But it does not in any way take my interest also in wildlife. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, the nominee fails to provide residential address. Would you furnish this committee with that? Not now. Once you yield to the chairman, and probably let me do my last and yield at chairman's pleasure to the Honorable Kujeto. 10 years at primary school, Anglican Basic School, to 1982. Any explanation?
The whole system, from 72 class 1 right through to Form 4, middle school. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, on the same issue, How many years were you at Asimanso and how many years were you at Kabotwe?
Asimanso 2 years, Form 1, Form 2, transferred to Kabotwe in 1984. 6 years, yes. In 1988, I was involved in a tragic motor accident and hospitalized for more than 1 year and came back strongly to be able to do the A-level.
During your introduction by His Excellency the President, we were informed that you are Auntie Rebecca's favorite, Her Excellency the First Lady's favorite radio commentator. So congratulations for all those accolades. But page 2 of your CV, under employment history, do we have your permission to carry out the following amendments? I don't think you will argue that being patron of Ghana Wildlife Association, patron of Infansipim Horticulture Club, patron of Writers and Debaters Club, employment. I don't think you argue that these are employment credentials. Can we take that out and preferably put them under leadership positions held?
Well,
are you okay with that?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I've already indicated that I'm at your direction.
And leadership positions held, when you resubmit, kindly let us have the name of the schools for, you only have assistant school prefect, and there is a blank. Assistant school prefect again, 78 and 82, there is a blank. So kindly let us have that. Then we have difficulty with the way you also indicate the years. You only have 88/89, Vice President, National Service Personnel Association, 90/91. Is it 1988 to 1989, or is it the 1988-89 academic year?
No, service year.
You have that running through, apart from...
Yes, 88-89 service year.
Then you have your University of Ghana SRCSL committee is the same. Just follow a format, please, for clarity, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Member in Fansiman District Assembly. In some instances, in Fansiman is spelled with an I, other instances is with an E. What is correct? So educate us.
Mr. Chairman, the spelling is E, Fansiman. Thank you.
You also have member Ghana at 50 committee, but you have 2006 and not 2007. Can you explain?
Yes, the committee got set up in 2006 before the proper celebration in 2007. So when it was constituted at the regional level, that's where I was made a member of the regional committee for the anniversary.
So please, when you resubmit, you notice there that you have not given us the duration. You only have 2006. So in this case, you need to give us 2006 to 2007. And you have several other instances, the regional campaign team, MPP Central Region, PRO, and all of those things. So let's have the durations when you resubmit, just for our records.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Page 4 of your CV, if you come along, of abbreviations, so many of them. When you resubmit, please indicate what they stand for. You have WRC, you have FNS, you have GII, you have IDEC, THLDD. This is a house of records, so we don't want to make any assumptions. Kindly let us have them. And then you take a look at your conferences attended. Johannesburg, just take a second look at the spelling. But it's not clear. Johannesburg Bilateral Commission of South Africa. Then no date. What exactly is this? Did you work in the South African Electoral Commission? No. Can you please explain what is happening?
South Africa gave an invitation to our party. In fact, that conference was to be attended by the national chairman then, Mr. Peter McMenu. And he said that as a way of growing all of us up, he was going to nominate me to go and represent the party. And so that's what happened.
Just for the clarity, it is democracy and democratic development in Africa, which happened in Johannesburg. Is that right?
That's right.
So it's part of the first one.
Chairman, get his take. You agree that we need to improve that portion of your CV?
Mr. Chairman, I've already indicated that I'm at the direction of your venerable committee.
Chairman, just Honorable Okujato, Central Regional Secretary aspirant. I know that sometimes it's success which is reported. Were you successful? I see you reporting even being an aspirant.
Well, Mr. Chairman, at the first attempt, I failed in that bid. But it is also not out of place to capture it, that it will be a constant reminder that at a point in time you made the effort, you couldn't succeed.
So it's a win and lose journey.
You may say it.
Just when you resubmit, just take a look at your draft spelling and watching comedy movies, I believe you want to indicate. But finally, you have stated that you remain a teacher of Infansipim School. Are you able to share with this committee what your plans are? Will you be holding on to that position? Will you seek some leave? Will you resign outrightly from the Ghana Education Service? What will you do about that current position you hold?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I think that I need to move on. And therefore, already when His Excellency the President mentioned my name, the following day I went to the office of the headmaster and informed him of the news and also told him that I had begun disengaging. So first and foremost, I'm disengaging from teaching activities in the school. And then the second stage will be to formally resign from the Ghana Education Service.
Are you considering resigning or leave of absence? Because for politics, very interesting. Tomorrow is not elected or it's an appointment. If you displace the first lady with a thank message and in the evening you don't survive, you probably will have to go back to the classroom. So will you be asking for leave of absence or resignation?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I think that is a good advice to his whole president, and I take that advice in good faith. And my view is that it should be a cushion for me in the event that a thing like that happens, then I'm there.
District Assembly 2002 to 2006 Social Services Education Subcommittee. We are assuming that the District Assembly probably was inaugurated at a certain period. If you just say 2002, and I'm aware that in January there was no District Assembly, how could you be a member of its Education or Social Services Subcommittee? It will be useful next time as a prelude that you indicate to us in this period, the month, so that actions done before you got there, we are not mistaken to associate you with it.
The A-level service is 1990-91, and the university service is 94-95. These are the cards.
We are ready to go in. The ranking member wants to start.
Will I, Kwamena Duncan, share with us his vision for the Central Region of Ghana as Minister Designate? And may he also indicate to us whether he has since not been playing a role in an acting capacity as Regional Minister and the justification for his presence and action.
Role as in my capacity as acting Regional Minister. Well, President mentions your name, and that is not the end of the story. You need to appear before this venerable committee for them to decide on your fate. So until that is done, and the whole considers it, you can't proceed to be acting in your capacity as acting regional minister. So I haven't done so, except that I've been going to the Regional Coordinating Council for purposes of appearing before you and to be able to tell you things about the region, to get briefed, but not in a single action have I acted in any capacity as a acting minister.
Thank you. Your vision for the region, what must we look up to in the next few and couple of years as you are head of administration for that administrative region, Central Region?
Well, Mr. Chairman, the Central Region in making our country has a major role in there. That's the point where we came into contact with the whites. And with this contact, we had the castle schools and the castle Christian services, and which spread across. And today we have schools all over, plus spread of Christianity. They were also very pioneer in terms of legal education, where you have Mesa Saba as the pioneer in the legal profession. So it's played its role, especially you're talking about agitations for our own independence, which began with Fanti Confederacy and then also Aborigines Rights Protection Society. Those were the precursors and laying the foundations, eventually making the nationalist movement get the necessary fire to enable us come how far we have come. But Mr. Chairman, if you look at the region as we speak today, it has continued to carry a tag of being the fourth poorest region after Upper West, Northern, Upper East, then comes the Central region. Consistently for 20 years now, when the Ghana Statistical Service did the Ghana Living Standard Survey and placed that tag on us, we have not been able to wiggle out of it. And so, is it going to be the normal thing that ministers are nominated, they appear before the committee, they get a blessing, and then they go in, and still we remain the fourth poorest? It's important that you look at the things that will make us break out of this jinx. And my view, Mr. Chairman, taking a look at the resource base of the region, you have the coastal end, and then you also have the rural end. The rural end, we are lucky we fall.
Honourable Member, your rural end is where? The coastal belt. There's this divide which the forest people don't like. And please choose another word from rural, please.
The forest belt. Forest belt. And Mr. Chairman, a lot of crops do well. A lot of them. If you take Himalaya Denchra through to Chufuetimukwa, right through to Denchra upper Denchra West, Denchra East, then down through Asin North, Asin Central, Asin South, through parts of Abra Sebu Kwamankasi, and then Ejuma Kwenye Nesiam, Esukuma Dobin Brakwa, right through to the Aguna East and West. These are all areas that do quite well.
Chairman, they do well in what?
They do well in agricultural production.
Specific.
Yes.
And what is your intention to help them do it better?
Yes. But my view is this, that for all this while they have remained at the subsistence level. There is a need for us, and we will make strong representations to His Excellency the President, that we cannot continue in this mode where a region and some regions are tagged as poor, and we as a nation are unable to do anything about that. So we will make strong representations to His Excellency President that if we could have a certain deliberate attempt at attracting large-scale investment into the agricultural sector, probably some tax holidays for people to want to come and invest in the region. If that is done, we will have the backward and forward linkages.
Chairman, just tax holidays to come and do what? What will you use tax holidays for?
See, Mr. Chairman, it's
are you investing in ceramics? You are investing in agribusiness. You are investing in food production. We want specifics.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. If you take our way of development, it's been over and above our head. Accra, Kumasi, Takrady, and that's what has been termed as a triangular development. And we are in the stomach of that triangle. We share borders in the north with the Ashanti region, and then eastern region, and then the west with western region, east, Greater Accra. Investors always look to where there's high purchasing capacity, and then also income levels are quite good. Within our region, it's not like that. So there must be a deliberate effort to direct investment in there. And if you come to the region, you don't have local incentives. So that's why I'm asking, or we will do the representation to President, that look, we need to lift this region and others up. So if we could...
Chairman, I'm done, but probably since my colleague will be aware.
Honorable nominee, in responding to a question posed by the minority leader, you sought to create the impression that ministers come, they are vetted, they go, and still poverty is with the central region. And you were asked, what do you intend doing differently to redeem your people from poverty? What 3 specific interventions do you intend to do differently to redeem them from poverty?
It was not intended in any way to whittle down my predecessors appearing here, only emphasizing the point that all this while the problem continues to persist, and there must be a way to break the back of this problem. And so if you ask me differently, I said that we will make strong case. Now, Mr. Chairman, it's a deep thing. Make a strong case that we need to lift these 4 regions. Even though I'm here, but we are colleagues. We have stayed down there for a very long time. We need to make a strong case to the President that all regions must be seen to be doing well. It can never be that a region will continue to carry this tag for more than 20 years. So investment, and that a way to get people coming there, give them if you give them the tax holidays, in a way, you fetch it back because you lift the people out of poverty. So that is one. And then 2, education. Education, as I said, if our people are literate, a lot of things will turn around. So those are the things that, Mr. Chairman, if this committee gave me the opportunity, I'll focus on. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, you were asked about how you can create employment for the youth of the region. And in responding to that question, you said that in your manifesto, you are committed to the establishment of 1 district, 1 factory as a way of creating job avenues for the teeming youth of the region. But you know that production alone cannot create the jobs. People produce in anticipation of demand. So if you think that by establishing a factory alone, you are creating employment, I disagree. What do you think can be done to ensure that the things you are talking about that you intend to produce in your region, there will be enough demand for it, so that as soon as you produce, you get people to buy, and that will serve as the biggest motivation for people to produce more, as a way of getting a lot of people into jobs?
When I say that we have the flagship policy of 1 district, 1 factory, 1 district, 1 factory, I did not mean to imply that that was the be-all. See, if you take the question that Honorable Ayaga put in, we have the universities, 3 of them. Cape Coast Technical University, you have the University of Cape Coast, and then you have University of Education, Winneba. That alone, if you put the figures together, close to 100,000. You have about 93 senior high schools. And if we got even a factory that produces orange juice, as part of the policy of feeding them, and this is also important, part of policy of feeding them, that it must be some arrangement for every senior school to take the orange juice. So there will be that big market there for them to consume, and that will get the forward and backward linkages going.
Looking at the CV, your background as a fisherman is not different from mine in Tema. We have virtually things in common. I recall growing up, Apam, Mumford area, they have a high potential of salt production. And for some time now, there's no serious activity in production of salt. Looking at the hydrocarbon nature it's going to do for us. So what are you going to do? Should you be given this opportunity to serve as the regional minister? What are you going to do to make sure that you activate this sort of production within the Gomwa, Apam, Mumford area to really enhance job creation for the youth, apart from the one district, one factory?
As part of Resignation, and if you come to Mfantsman, Kuntu, if you come to KE, those areas, they all mine salt. But it's always remained at the subsistence level. Just sacks are filled and then taken to local markets. And so, as and when, the vim that is required to make it grow has not been there. But with the petrochemical industry coming up, Mr. Chairman, as regional minister, if you give me that opportunity, we'll see how we can put some investment experts together to see how we can succeed in growing the salt industry. And so it is something that is very much on board. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, poor sanitation has led to perennial cholera outbreak in the central region and attendant death. I was at Nkamfua just about 2 weeks ago, and I saw what is happening there in terms of the landfill, poor management. And it's like it's happening all the time. On my way towards Kekum, I also saw it. Is it in Suta or something, a town around there? It's a big problem. At local government, we have a problem at hand resolving the issue of the landfill site in KEA. We were even in court. Sanitation has become a problem. Open defecation in the region, even in some schools. Some of the schools are even doing open defecation in the central region. What are you going to do critically as a regional minister to make sure that the issue of sanitation is improved in the region to forestall the cholera outbreaks all the time?
His observations are well placed. Before I appeared before your venerable committee, the briefing I had on the annual outbreak of cholera is not something that, if you gave me the opportunity to become the minister, something that I need to be enthused about. You had as just this year, and we are told by the professionals that it ended or it stopped just about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And they say that if within 5 days you do not have any report on that, it means that it's ended. So it just did about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And if you look at the statistics just for last year, Cape Coast metro area alone, close to 5,000 reported. Fortunately, we did not have death amongst them. But so it's a major thing, and it tends to serve as a center. So those who have come from the other districts, they come to pick it and send it there. And they have been able to trace it to where the real issue is about the abattoir thing, where it is cited. And again, the open defecation that you talked about. So those are matters that are firmly on the table. If you gave me the opportunity to become the minister, I mean, the background that we have all come from, I'm going to place my eye there to ensure that we break its back. It's not something that in this day and era that you'll be talking about cholera. We are going to put all our effort in there to resolve that matter.
Chairman, the nominee, as I know him, today rather comes to me as some notorious absentee teacher with the record that I have. We go to FM in the morning, 7 to 11 a.m., probably school hours, school contact hours, which the Professor Nana and co were fighting to reduce and improve people-teacher contact hours to, I'm sure I'm told, from 27 to 9%. With this record, how can we be assured that you will provide leadership in ensuring discipline and that teachers are at posts and not running commentaries when they should be in the classroom.
Chairman, I do not know how the ranking member, minority leader, comes to establish this record. Because you know too well that in the senior school, you teach by periods. And yes, you teach by periods. And the day I find space to be on air, it's a free day for me. But I tell you, Mr. Chairman, I've been the director of studies, evening studies, and also the senior housemaster in charge of studies and also at the academic side. If anybody made that effort to look to my work ethic and then the discipline, I must not be here to be blowing my horn, but never in any way that my politics that I've done or keep doing, any way had any effect on the job, because that is what I'm paid for. And so I've had a clear distinction between the two. And as a classroom teacher, I've always committed myself to doing it. And that, in any way, has never suffered from the politics that I've also found time to do.
Even as housemaster.
Mr. Chairman, it's only Wednesdays that I come to Accra. Beyond that, all this, I'm available at school. When you come, you find me. I'm through till 9 p.m. when studies are over, and then go down to the dormitory to ensure that all that is also maintained before I come back to sleep.
So evening classes, which you have run for more than a decade, closes at 9 p.m. Is that the case?
No, prep. Prep closes at 9 p.m. So I'm there. I'm in charge of prep, and I make sure that they all settle.
And that the young students who are looking for exits, you are available to grant it even on Wednesday as you are on the road.
Mr. Chairman, in fact, we say that if one person is not there, activities do not come to a stop. We have 4 senior housemasters, and we are all charged with several duties. And so on Wednesday, when I'm on my way, I mean, there are others who equally will step in to do the work that I must do. And nobody under such circumstances has suffered at all.
Chairman, listening to the nominee, I trust that he has a diligent hand. But Chairman, listening to him, he relates to the central region and guided by statistics as one of the poor regions of our country. In his answer to an earlier question, he himself recognized that in the last 20 years, nothing has fundamentally changed. So he goes to the region, I believe, with the trust of the president to do extraordinary things, to ameliorate poverty, improve infrastructure. Sedecom have not been able to live up to that. What are your extraordinary plans for the central region to get them out of their debilitating poverty?
Chairman, I think he answered this question, Honorable. He answered the question on what he would do differently. So if you ask another question.
Chairman, he himself used 20 years, so it's not the same question. I'm saying that if you see a pregnant goat in the market, there's a pregnant problem at home. He has identified that Central Region has a unique problem. I want him to share how uniquely he intends to run the region. Nothing more, Chairman.
First and foremost, you come in as a team player. There's the one central vision that all of us, that His Excellency has given us the privilege to be part of his team, will work around. That's the central vision. But you also come in with that little on your shoulder or up your sleeves to be able to give. And poverty, we have realized that as a party, and in going to the people in 2016, we said that we have the infrastructure for poverty eradication program, and we're going to implement that through the Coastal Development Authority. So that is a first layer. But Mr. Chairman, I've also emphasized here that we have tended to be so subsistence all this while. The ability to take off is in there in the central region. You have the commercial crops and all of that. What, in my view, in my estimation, is that we need to get the needed investment there. So I emphasize that investment. That, for me, is the way to go to be able to break the back of the poverty that has plagued our people for all this while.
It's aware that the central region received, like many other regions of Ghana, a share of development interventions under the previous administration, notably the KEPCO Stadium, ongoing Kasua interchange, many other community schools. You are reported to have said that President Mahama was reckless in his spending. Is that to describe this initiative, or you meant something else?
Well, Mr. Chairman, if the entire context is provided me, then I'll be able to give a satisfactory answer, if the entire context.
What do you mean by reckless spending by a president? Does that include some of the initiatives I identified? Or you know a particular spending that by your own conduct of an audit that deemed to qualify to be reckless?
No, Mr. Chairman, I couldn't just have stood up and say that the president is doing a reckless spending. Probably related to something. That's why I'm saying that. If I had the full context.
Related to the energy sector.
In relation to?
The energy sector.
Mr. Chairman, unless I am well reminded, I do not remember that I ever made such statement that the president was making a reckless spending, unless I'm properly reminded.
Chairman, may I now refer him to a publication by spending like there's no tomorrow, says Kwamena Duncan. And you are attributed to have said that. Do you regret those comments, or are you able to justify what you describe as reckless?
The heading there is Mr. President is spending as though there were no tomorrow. I never said reckless. And then so on the basis that, yes, but see, the program is a cheap program. And yes, the person who may do the translation may put his own word in there. Yes, may put his own word in there. It's a cheap program, and you are forced by the host to speak Chi.
So say in Chi how you said
I couldn't in a Chi program say reckless. I couldn't have said that.
Chairman, you appreciate that Echina Waho, and that if there was Kasua interchange, there was a stadium. It was meant to stimulate the economy through investment in infrastructure. Do you now regret the association of the word reckless with you?
Chairman, this whole thing of campaign is just like being on the field. You appear to want to score. And the position given to me by my director is to you go and then speak. You speak for the party. Yours is to make sure that we as a party seeking to come into office, we look good. And the other looks bad. And so on the field, it's your duty to work. But, I mean, on the field, occasionally you may be fouled. So that might be part of the problem.
Is that part of the problem?
Yes, part of the problem.
Did you sleep?
I'm saying that, yes, part of the problem on the field. So where then,
when there are injuries,
where then you get to be shown a yellow card or a red card.
So do you deserve a yellow or a red card?
In this case, give me a yellow card.
Okay, the injury is accordingly noted. May I refer you to 6 of the MPP manifesto you probably may be lucky that he will cause another yellow and Chairman will combine the two for a red card. So pray for that. Chairman, page 66, I believe. The MPP promises the Coastal Development Authority, CDA, and you are aware that SEDICOM is already in existence since 1990. Will you advise against a duplication in the creation of these institutions?
Chairman, there cannot be any equivocation on the fact that if you decide to do duplication, your focus gets dispersed. And so it's important that for whatever you do, you get focus. But I know that the ranking member, minority leader, also knows too well that SEDICOM is not founded on any legislation. So I'm sure in coming up with this Coastal Development Authority, that may be premised on legislation. And when that is done, probably the role that SEDICOM may be made to play, either it is subsumed into this Coastal Development Authority, or it might be made to become a wing. However it is couched, we would ensure that we avoid this duplication thing. Thank you.